James spoke earlier, and he's a good friend of mine. If you know James, you know he's famous for his Jamesisms, which are these funky one-liner phrases and his way of communicating his wisdom with the world. As I've been reflecting on my past 2 years at Darden and thinking about speaking alongside James today, I asked myself, what pieces of wisdom am I bringing with me coming out of this experience? These past 2 years have been a journey for our class. Lauren Hamlet put it perfectly in an Instagram post this week. The photo was of lush Flagler Courtyard and the crisp white tent set up in celebratory fashion for last lecture and section send-off. And next to the tent, there was a tree that had been split in half and fallen down on top of the tent. It had been struck in a storm the night before. For the people putting on the event, this was a classic last-minute surprise that they've all become pros at handling over the past year. And the caption read, "This sums up our Darden experience. Beautiful with a bit of chaos." For me personally, 2020 was the hardest year of my life. And it was the people at Darden, my friends, Carrie, Annie, Taylor, Jack, and Lauren. It was my team, Enrique, Tom, Sarah, Ed, Mark, and the DSA board. It was my therapist, Debbie, and my family, my mom, Dad, Laura, and Karen, who are the reason I'm still here after such a painful time. And as I've begun to heal, I've come out stronger, and I have a few lessons learned. So here are my 8 lessons learned from Darden. Number 1 is from Debbie Wilson. Don't abandon yourself. It took me a while to feel comfortable not apologizing for who I am. But once I was able to be unapologetically myself and embrace what my values are and what I want to prioritize, I felt so free. So don't abandon yourself. Number 2 is from Tom. Meet people where they are. Over the past year, there were times when it was hard to even get out of bed in the morning. And there were times when I felt like a superhero. I was lucky enough to have a support system who were patient with me through those ups and downs. And ultimately, I found peace, giving myself the grace and patience of accepting where I was at any given time and being okay with that. Number 3 is from Taylor Swift. A friend to all is a friend to none. My dad always taught me you can never have too many friends. And I agree with that. While I love getting to know all types of people, feeling included and trying to be inclusive, I found that when I tried to please everyone, I didn't bring value to anyone. It took courage to be okay not having everyone like me. So a friend to all is a friend to none. Number 4 is from Professor Sarah Sarasvathy. The best answer you can get is a hard and fast no. I'm learning this as I'm fundraising for my search fund. Rejection is hard, but it's more painful when it's drawn out. And the times when I was able to receive a quick no, or find ways to give kind and fast answers to others, I was able to move forward more quickly. So the best answer you can receive is a hard and fast no. Number 5 is from Annie Polizzi. Change is gradual. One of my favorite parts of our friendship is the runs that we go on together. Sometimes we're really not feeling it, and it feels like the end of the road is so far away. Annie taught me to focus on the step right in front of you. And before we knew it, we ran a half marathon together. So change is gradual. Number 6 is from Coco Wolf. Have a bias toward action. So many times over the past 2 years, I had no idea what I was doing. The times when I just took the leap and experimented with something, I found so much joy. It didn't always turn out great, but we learned and iterated along the way, and we created some pretty cool stuff. So have a bias toward action. Number 6 is from Martin Howell. Check your perspective. Over the past year, it was easy to compare things to normal times. But the moment I was able to focus on this time here versus this time elsewhere, I found gratitude. So check your perspective. And number 8, and the last lesson learned, is to operate in the present. This is from Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson talks about surfing, and I found that when I'm doing outdoor activities or going through the process of making a pour-over coffee in the morning, being intentional and allowing myself to slow down brings focus to the present. In talking to Luis Zelda this week, he took this a step further and reminded me that if you can't live in the present, how can you plan for the future? Thank all of you and to the class of 2021 for contributing to an experience where I was able to learn so much more than I thought possible in business school. And let's hold these lessons close as we venture into the rest of our lives.